Chapter 9. How to use your will. If you want to get rich using a scientific method, you shouldn't try to use your willpower on anything outside of yourself. You don't have the right to do that anyway. It's wrong to use your will on other people to make them do what you want. It's just as obviously wrong to force people to do things with your mind as it is to force them physically. If you physically force people to do things for you, it turns them into slaves. Forcing them mentally does the exact same thing. The only difference is the method. If taking things from people by physical force is robbery, then taking things by mental force is also robbery. There's no difference in the basic principle. You have no right to use your willpower on another person, even if you think it's for their own good, because you don't actually know what's best for them. The science of getting rich doesn't require you to use power or force on anyone else, in any way at all. There's absolutely no need to do that. In fact, trying to use your will on others will only work against your goal. You don't need to use your will on things to force them to come to you. That would just be trying to force God to do something, and that would be foolish, useless, and disrespectful. You don't have to force God to give you good things, any more than you have to use your willpower to make the sun rise. You don't have to use your willpower to conquer an unfriendly God, or to make stubborn, rebellious forces do what you want. Substance is friendly towards you, and it's more eager to give you what you want than you are to get it. To get rich, you only need to use your willpower on yourself. Once you know what to think and do, you must use your will to make yourself think and do the right things. That's the proper way to use your will to get what you want, to keep yourself on the right path. Use your will to keep yourself thinking and acting in the certain way. Don't try to project your will, your thoughts, or your mind out into space to act on things or people. Keep your mind focused on yourself. It can achieve more there than anywhere else. Use your mind to create a mental image of what you want, and hold on to that vision with faith and purpose. Then, use your will to keep your mind working in the right way. The more steady and continuous your faith and purpose are, the faster you'll get rich. This is because you'll only make positive impressions on substance, and you won't cancel them out with negative impressions. The mental picture of what you desire, held with faith and purpose, is picked up by the formless. It then spreads through it over vast distances, throughout the entire universe, as far as I know. As this impression spreads, everything starts moving towards making it real. Every living thing, every inanimate object, and even things that don't exist yet are stirred into bringing what you want into being. All energy starts to be directed that way. Everything begins to move towards you. People's minds everywhere are influenced to do what's necessary to fulfill your desires. They work for you, without even knowing it. But you can stop all this by creating a negative impression in the formless substance. Doubt or disbelief will just as surely push things away from you as faith and purpose will draw them towards you. Most people who try to use mental science to get rich fail because they don't understand this. Every hour and moment you spend dwelling on doubts and fears, every hour you spend worrying, every hour your mind is filled with disbelief, all of that creates a current that pushes things away from you throughout the entire realm of intelligent substance. Remember this, all the promises are for those who believe, and only for them. Notice how strongly Jesus emphasized this point about belief. Now you know why. Since belief is so important, you need to guard your thoughts. Your beliefs are largely shaped by what you observe and think about, so it's crucial that you control your attention. And this is where your will comes in. It's through your will that you decide what to focus your attention on. If you want to get rich, you absolutely must not study poverty. Things don't come into existence by thinking about their opposites. You'll never achieve health by studying disease and thinking about it. You won't promote righteousness by studying sin and thinking about it. And no one ever got rich by studying poverty and thinking about poverty. Medicine, as a science focused on disease, has actually increased disease. Religion, as a science focused on sin, has promoted sin. And economics, as a study of poverty, will only fill the world with misery and lack. Don't talk about poverty. Don't investigate it or concern yourself with it. Never mind what causes it, you have nothing to do with those causes. What concerns you is the cure. Don't spend your time on charitable work or charity movements. All charity only tends to make the misery it tries to get rid of last longer. I'm not saying you should be hard-hearted or unkind, or refuse to hear someone in need. But you must not try to get rid of poverty using any of the usual methods. Put poverty behind you, put everything related to it behind you, and make good. Get rich. That is the best way you can help the poor. And you cannot keep the mental image that will make you rich if you fill your mind with pictures of poverty. Do not read books or papers that give detailed stories about how terrible life is for people in tenements, or about the horrors of child labor, and similar things. Do not read anything that fills your mind with depressing images of poverty and pain. You cannot help the poor at all by knowing about these things. And just knowing about these problems doesn't help get rid of poverty at all. What actually helps eliminate poverty isn't filling your mind with images of poverty. It's putting images of wealth into the minds of poor people. You are not abandoning the poor in their suffering when you refuse to let your mind be filled with images of that suffering. Poverty can be eliminated, not by increasing the number of wealthy people who think about poverty, but by increasing the number of poor people who decide with faith to get rich. The poor do not need charity, they need inspiration. Charity only sends them a loaf of bread to keep them alive in their misery. Or it gives them entertainment to make them forget for an hour or two. But inspiration will help them rise out of their misery. If you want to help the poor, show them that they can become rich. Prove it by getting rich yourself. The only way poverty will ever be removed from this world is by getting more and more people to practice what this book teaches. People must be taught to become rich by creation, not by competition. Every person who gets rich through competition kicks away the ladder they used to climb, holding others back. But every person who gets rich through creation opens a path for thousands to follow, and inspires them to do it. You are not showing a hard heart or an uncaring attitude when you refuse to feel sorry for poverty. You're not being mean when you refuse to see it, read about it, think or talk about it, or listen to others who do. Use your willpower to keep your mind off the topic of poverty. Instead, keep it focused with faith and purpose on the vision of what you want. Chapter 10. Further use of the will. You can't keep a clear picture of wealth in your mind if you're always focusing on things that contradict that vision, whether those things are real or just in your imagination. Don't talk about your past money problems, if you've had any. Don't even think about them. Don't talk about how poor your parents were, or how tough your early life was. If you do any of these things, you're mentally putting yourself in the category of the poor for that moment. This will definitely slow down the good things coming your way. Let the dead bury their dead, as Jesus said. Put poverty and everything related to it completely behind you. You've accepted a specific idea about how the universe works as true, and you're basing all your hopes for happiness on that idea being right. So, what do you gain by paying attention to ideas that go against it? Don't read religious books that claim the world is ending soon. And don't read the writings of negative journalists and gloomy philosophers who say everything is going to hell. The world isn't going to hell. It's moving towards God. It's a wonderful process of becoming. Sure, there might be a lot of unpleasant things in the world right now. But what's the point of focusing on them when they're definitely fading away? And when studying them only slows down their disappearance and keeps them around longer? Why spend your time and energy on things that are being naturally removed through evolutionary growth? You can only speed up the removal by helping that evolutionary growth along, as much as you can. No matter how terrible the conditions might seem in some countries, regions, or specific places, you're just wasting your time and hurting your own opportunities by thinking about them. You should focus on the world becoming wealthy. Think about the wealth the world is gaining, instead of the poverty it's leaving behind. And remember, the only way you can help the world get rich is by getting rich yourself, using the creative method, not the competitive one. Give your attention completely to wealth, ignore poverty. Whenever you think or speak of those who are poor, think and speak of them as people who are becoming wealthy. See them as people who deserve congratulations, not pity. Then they and others will feel inspired and start looking for a way out of their situation. Just because I'm telling you to dedicate all your time, mind, and thoughts to wealth, doesn't mean you should be greedy or selfish. Becoming truly rich is the most noble goal you can have in life, because it includes everything else. In a competitive mindset, the struggle to get rich is a ruthless fight for power over others. But when we tap into the creative mind, all of that changes. Everything possible in terms of greatness, spiritual growth, service, and noble efforts comes from getting rich. All of it is made possible by using things. If you don't have good physical health, you'll find that achieving it depends on you getting rich. Only those who are free from money worries, and who have the resources to live a carefree life and practice good hygiene, can truly have and keep their health. Moral and spiritual greatness is only possible for those who are above the competitive struggle for survival. And only those who are getting rich through creative thought are free from the negative effects of competition. If you truly want happiness at home, remember that love thrives best where there's refinement, deep thinking, and freedom from harmful influences. These things are only found where wealth is achieved through creative thought, without conflict or rivalry. I repeat, you can't aim for anything greater or more noble than becoming rich. You must focus your attention on your mental picture of wealth. You need to exclude anything that might dim or cloud that vision. You must learn to see the underlying truth in all things. You must see beneath all seemingly wrong conditions the great one life, always moving forward towards fuller expression and more complete happiness. Here's the truth: there's no such thing as poverty. There is only wealth. Some people remain in poverty because they are unaware that wealth is available to them. The best way to teach these people is by showing them the path to abundance through your own life and actions. Others are poor because, even though they feel there's a way out, they're too mentally lazy to put in the effort needed to find that path and follow it. For these people, the very best thing you can do is to spark their desire by showing them the happiness that comes from being truly rich. Still others are poor because, even though they have some understanding of science, they've become so overwhelmed and confused by a maze of metaphysical and occult theories that they don't know which direction to go. They try a mix of many systems and fail at all of them. Again, for these people, the very best thing to do is to show them the right way through your own life and actions. Remember, an ounce of doing is worth a pound of theorizing. The very best thing you can do for the whole world is to make the most of yourself. You can't serve God and humanity in a more effective way than by getting rich. That is, if you get rich using the creative method, not the competitive one. Here's something else. We claim this book fully explains the principles of getting rich. If that's true, then you won't need to read any other book on the topic. This might sound narrow-minded or arrogant, but think about it. In math, there's only one scientific way to calculate: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. No other method works. There's only one shortest distance between 2 points. There's only one scientific way to think. It's the way that leads directly and simply to your goal. No one has ever created a simpler or less complicated system than the one presented here. We've removed everything that isn't essential. When you start using this, put all other systems aside. Forget about them completely. Read this book every day. Keep it with you. Memorize it. And don't think about other systems or theories. If you do, you'll start having doubts. Your thoughts will become uncertain and wavering. Then, you'll start failing. Once you've succeeded and become rich, you can study other systems as much as you like. But until you're absolutely sure you've gotten what you want, don't read anything else on this topic. The only exceptions are the authors mentioned in the preface. Also, only read the most optimistic news comments about the world. Choose ones that match your vision. Also, put off any investigations into the occult. Don't get involved with theosophy, spiritualism, or similar studies. It's very likely that the dead are still alive and nearby. But if they are, leave them alone. Mind your own business. Wherever the spirits of the dead might be, they have their own work and problems to deal with. We have no right to interfere. We can help them. It's also very doubtful if they can help us, or if we even have the right to take up their time if they could. Leave the dead and the afterlife alone. Solve your own problem, get rich. If you start getting involved with the occult, you'll create mental conflicts. These will definitely destroy your hopes. So far, this chapter and the ones before it have led us to these basic facts. There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made. In its original state, this stuff spreads through, enters, and fills all the empty spaces of the universe. A thought, within this substance, creates the thing that the thought pictures. People can form things in their thoughts. By impressing these thoughts onto the formless substance, they can cause the things they think about to be created. To do this, you must shift from a competitive mindset to a creative one. You need to form a clear mental picture of what you want. Hold this picture in your thoughts with a firm purpose to get it. Have unwavering faith that you will get what you want. Close your mind to anything that might shake your purpose, dim your vision, or weaken your faith. In addition to all of this, we will now see that you must live and act in a certain way. Chapter 11. Acting in the certain way. Thought is the creative power. It's the driving force that makes creation happen. Thinking in a certain way will bring you wealth. But you can't just rely on thought alone. You also need to take personal action. Many otherwise scientific metaphysical thinkers fail right here. They don't connect their thoughts with personal action, and that's where they run into trouble. We haven't reached a point yet where people can create things directly from the formless substance. Even if that stage is possible, we're not there. We still need nature's processes and human effort. So, you must not only think, but your personal actions must also support your thoughts. Through thought, you can cause the gold deep within the mountains to be drawn toward you. But it won't mine itself. It won't refine itself. It won't turn itself into coins and roll down the roads right into your pocket. With the driving power of the Supreme Spirit, people's lives will be arranged so that someone will be guided to mine that gold for you. Other people's business deals will be directed in such a way that the gold comes to you. You must also arrange your own business so you can properly receive it when it arrives. Your thoughts make everything, both living and non-living, work to bring you what you want. However, your personal actions must be set up so you can rightfully receive what you want when it gets to you. You shouldn't take it as charity or steal it. You must give everyone more in use value than they give you in cash value. The scientific way to use thought involves three things. First, form a clear and distinct mental image of what you want. Second, firmly commit to your goal of getting what you want. Third, realize with grateful faith that you are getting what you want. Don't try to project your thoughts in some mysterious or magical way. Don't think your thoughts will just go out and do things for you. That's a waste of effort. It will also weaken your ability to think clearly. The way thought helps you get rich is fully explained in the previous chapters. Your faith and purpose clearly imprint your vision onto the formless substance. This substance has the same desire for more life that you have. This vision, once received from you, activates all the creative forces. They work through their regular channels of action, but they are directed specifically toward you. It's not your job to guide or supervise the creative process. All you need to do is hold on to your vision, stick to your purpose, and maintain your faith and gratitude. But you must act in a certain way. This allows you to claim what is yours when it comes to you. It also ensures you can meet the things you've envisioned and put them in their proper places as they arrive. You can easily see that this is true. When things reach you, they will be in the hands of other people. These people will ask for something in return. And you can only get what is yours by giving the other person what is theirs. Your wallet isn't going to magically turn into Fortunatus's purse, always full of money without any effort from you. This is the crucial point in the science of getting rich. Thought and personal action must be combined. Many people, whether they realize it or not, activate the creative forces through the strength and persistence of their desires. But they stay poor because they don't prepare to receive what they want when it arrives. Through thought, what you want is brought to you. Through action, you receive it. Whatever your action needs to be, it's clear that you must act now. You can't act in the past. For your mental vision to be clear, it's essential that you dismiss the past from your mind. You also can't act in the future, because the future isn't here yet. And you won't know how you'll want to act in any future situation until that situation actually happens. Just because you're not in the right business or environment right now, don't think you have to postpone action. Don't wait until you get into the right business or environment. Also, don't spend time now trying to figure out the best course of action for possible future emergencies. Have faith in your ability to handle any emergency when it actually arrives. If you act in the present but your mind is focused on the future, your current actions will be unfocused. They won't be effective. Put your whole mind into what you're doing right now. Don't give your creative impulse to the original substance, and then just sit down and wait for results. If you do that, you'll never get them. Act now. There is only ever now, and there never will be any other time than now. If you're ever going to start preparing to receive what you want, you must begin now. Whatever your action is, it will most likely involve your current business or job. It will also involve the people and things in your current environment. You can't act where you aren't. You can't act where you've been. And you can't act where you're going to be. You can only act where you are. Don't worry about whether yesterday's work was done well or poorly. Just do today's work well. Don't try to do tomorrow's work today. There will be plenty of time for that when you get to it. Don't try to use occult or mystical methods to influence people or things that are beyond your reach. Don't wait for your environment to change before you act. Instead, create a change in your environment through your actions. You can act on your current environment in such a way that you cause yourself to move into a better one. Hold on to the vision of yourself in that better environment with faith and purpose. But act on your current environment with all your heart, all your strength, and all your mind. Don't spend any time daydreaming or building castles in the air. Stick to your single vision of what you want, and act now. Don't go looking for some brand new thing to do. Don't search for some strange, unusual, or remarkable action to perform as your first step toward getting rich. It's likely that your actions, at least for a while, will be the same ones you've been doing for some time. But you need to start performing these actions now in a certain way. That will surely make you rich. If you are involved in a business and feel it's not the right fit for you, don't wait until you find the perfect business before you start acting. Don't feel discouraged or sit around complaining that you're in the wrong place. No one is ever so stuck that they can't find the right place. And no one is ever so caught up in the wrong business that they can't transition to the right one. Hold on to the vision of yourself in the right business. Have the purpose and faith that you will get into it, and that you are getting into it. But act within your current business. Use your current job as the stepping stone to a better one, and use your present environment as the means to move into a better one. If you hold on to your vision with faith and purpose, the supreme power will start moving the right opportunities toward you. And your action, when performed in the certain way, will move you toward those opportunities. If you are an employee or wage earner and feel you need to change jobs to get what you want, don't just project your thoughts out into the universe, hoping it will get you another job. That approach will probably fail. Instead, hold the vision of yourself in the job you want, while you act with faith and purpose in the job you currently have. Doing this will surely get you the job you want. Your vision and faith will activate the creative force to bring the opportunity to you. At the same time, your actions will move the forces in your own environment to push you toward the place you want to be. In closing this chapter, let's add another statement to our core principles. There is a thinking substance from which all things are made. In its original state, it permeates, penetrates, and fills the spaces of the universe. A thought within this substance produces the very thing that the thought imagines. A person can form things in their mind, and by impressing those thoughts upon the formless substance, can cause the thing they think about to be created. To do this, a person must shift from a competitive mindset to a creative one. They must form a clear mental picture of what they want. They must hold this picture in their thoughts with the fixed purpose of getting it, and the unwavering faith that they are getting it. They must close their mind to anything that might shake their purpose, blur their vision, or weaken their faith. So that they can receive what they want when it arrives, a person must act now on the people and things in their current environment. Chapter 12. Efficient Action. You must direct your thoughts as described in previous chapters, and begin to do what you can, right where you are. And you must do everything that you can do in your current situation. You can only advance by outgrowing your present place. And you haven't outgrown your present place if you leave any of the work connected to it unfinished. The world only moves forward because of people who do more than just fill their present roles. If no one fully completed their current duties, everything would start moving backward. Those who don't quite fill their present places are a dead weight on society, government, commerce, and industry. They have to be carried along by others at a great expense. The progress of the world is only held back by those who don't fill the spaces they occupy. They belong to a past era and a lower stage of life, and their tendency is toward decline. No society could advance if everyone was smaller than their role. Social evolution is guided by the same laws as physical and mental evolution. In the animal world, evolution is driven by an excess of life. When an organism has more life than it can express through its current functions, it develops organs for a higher level of existence, and a new species is born. There would never have been new species if there weren't organisms that more than filled their places. The law is exactly the same for you. Getting rich depends on you applying this principle to your own life. Every day is either a success or a failure, and it's the successful days that get you what you want. If every day is a failure, you can never get rich. But if every day is a success, you cannot fail to get rich. If there's something that could be done today, and you don't do it, you have failed as far as that specific thing is concerned. And the consequences might be more disastrous than you imagine. You can't foresee the results of even the most trivial act. You don't know how all the forces that have been set in motion on your behalf are working. A lot might depend on you doing some simple act. It might be the very thing that opens the door to massive opportunities. You can never know all the combinations the Supreme Intelligence is putting together for you in the physical world and in human affairs. Your neglect or failure to do some small thing might cause a long delay in getting what you want. Do all that can be done each day. There is, however, a limit or condition to this that you must consider. You shouldn't overwork, and you shouldn't blindly rush into your business trying to do the greatest possible number of things in the shortest amount of time. Don't try to do tomorrow's work today, and don't try to cram a week's work into a single day. It's really not the number of things you do, but the efficiency of each separate action that counts. Every act is, in itself, either a success or a failure. Every act is, in itself, either effective or ineffective. Every inefficient act is a failure, and if you spend your life doing inefficient things, your whole life will be a failure. The more things you do, the worse it is for you, if all your acts are inefficient. On the other hand, every efficient act is a success in itself. And if every act of your life is efficient, your whole life must be a success. The cause of failure is doing too many things inefficiently, and not doing enough things efficiently. You can see it's a self-evident truth that if you don't do any inefficient acts, and if you do a sufficient number of efficient ones, you will become rich. Now, if it's possible for you to make each act efficient, you can see again that getting rich is reduced to an exact science, like mathematics. So, the whole thing hinges on whether you can make each separate act a success in itself. And you most certainly can. You can make each act a success because all power is working with you, and all power cannot fail. Power is at your service. To make each act efficient, you simply have to put power into it. Every action is either strong or weak. When every action is strong, you are acting in the certain way that will make you rich. Every act can be made strong and efficient by holding on to your vision while you are doing it, and putting the full power of your faith and purpose into it. This is exactly where people fail when they separate mental power from personal action. They use the power of their mind in one place and at one time, but they act in another place and at another time. As a result, their acts aren't successful in themselves. Too many of them are inefficient. But if all power goes into every act, no matter how ordinary, every act will be a success in itself. And since every success naturally opens the way to other successes, your progress toward what you want, and the progress of what you want toward you, will become increasingly rapid. Remember that successful action builds upon itself. Because the desire for more life is built into everything, when a person starts moving toward a larger life, more things attach themselves to them, and the influence of their desire multiplies. Do all that you can do every day, and do each act efficiently. When I say you must hold on to your vision while doing every act, no matter how trivial or ordinary, I don't mean you need to see the vision clearly down to its smallest details at all times. It should be the work of your free time to use your imagination to focus on the details of your vision, contemplating them until they are firmly fixed in your memory. If you want fast results, spend practically all your spare time doing this. Through continuous contemplation, you will get the picture of what you want, even down to the smallest details, so firmly fixed in your mind, and so completely transferred to the mind of the formless substance, that during your working hours, you only need to mentally refer to the picture to boost your faith and purpose, and bring out your best effort. Contemplate your picture during your free time until your consciousness is so full of it that you can grasp it instantly. You will become so excited by its bright promises that just thinking about it will draw out the strongest energies of your whole being. Let's repeat our core principles again, slightly changing the closing statements to reflect the point we've now reached. There is a thinking substance from which all things are made. In its original state, it permeates, penetrates, and fills the spaces of the universe. A thought within this substance produces the very thing that the thought imagines. A person can form things in their mind, and by impressing those thoughts upon the formless substance, can cause the thing they think about to be created. To do this, a person must shift from a competitive mindset to a creative one. They must form a clear mental picture of what they want, and do, with faith and purpose, all that can be done each day, doing each separate thing efficiently.